Hello people, this is a super impromptu video. Just honestly had a lot on my mind and decided that I might as well record it. So here I am. It's super early in the morning. It's like, what time is it? Okay, it's not that early, but it's 9:22. And I woke up this morning and I read the Bible as I normally do. I usually try and read like a little bit of it, especially when I'm in kind of like a confused mental state. I just try and bring out the Bible and let it take me wherever it takes me. Make sure I'm in focus here. But anyways, I'm gonna sit on the floor because sometimes I just feel more comfortable on the floor. So, but yeah, anyways, I was just reading in the Bible and something really stood out to me and just, I guess, got me thinking a lot. And that was, the phrase was, speak the truth in love. And this is something that I know to be true, and I know that we should speak the truth through love, and we should do everything through love and move through love in everything we do in life, right? But this was definitely something that just like hit me like a ton of bricks, because it just reminded me of like everything I already know. And it got me thinking, if we are called to speak the truth in love, then that is the exact same reason why we are also called to be slow to anger, right? And recently, for the most part, I'm generally a very calm person. I'm generally a very like non-reactionary. You're not gonna get much reaction out of me. You're not gonna get much anger out of me for the most part. Most of the time I'll just laugh it off, or I'll just kind of whatever. But I definitely wasn't like that years ago. Definitely when I was in high school and elementary, like my younger years, I was definitely kind of like a mean girl, and the girl that had a very short temper, and that if you said something to me that I didn't like, I was gonna, you know what I'm saying, like I'm gonna come to you and we're gonna talk about it. And it wasn't to talk about it with resolution. It was, I'm gonna tell you about your life. You want to tell me about my life and you want to make me feel this type of way, well, I'm gonna tell you about your life. And I would like really tear people apart and really just like have diarrhea of the mouth. And I think in my later years of high school, I realized how damaging that is, not only for myself but for the people that I was word vomiting on, right? And I realized that because after the anger settles and after I've kind of like come to my senses, I would go back to people and be like, oh man, like I'm sorry I did that, I'm sorry, I didn't even mean what I was saying, I'm sorry. And they were never able to really people were never really able to just like brush it off the way that I was able to, you know what I mean? Like I was able to just move past my anger, not able to move past my anger, but like I was angry in one point and now I'm over it. But the people that I had spewed all that anger on, words cut deep, words stick. The words that I had said to them had stuck, and they were offended and they were hurt, and they weren't able to just be like, oh, well, she was just mad and she said that, and that's fair because words cut deep. And I had to come to understand that like people are not gonna just brush over what you said about them, what you said to them, because you were angry. Like that in itself is not an excuse. And so from there I was like, man, I almost made a promise to myself, man, I am never going to say things out of anger. I'm never going to just explode out of anger. Like I'm promising myself, like I can't put out that hate and just like evilness to the world. I don't want to be that person. I don't want that to be what I bring into this world. And so what happened from then, I think, is I started to, I didn't really reach a balance. I started to kind of suppress the anger. So I went from being super hot-headed, I don't care, you make me feel a type of way, I'm about to make you feel a type of way, to now I'm like, you made me feel a type of way, I'm not allowed to feel anger, so I'm just gonna like, right? And I think that is also like the other end of it, of just suppressing the anger, is not healthy either, right? Because it just bottles up and bottles up and bottles up and bottles up until the point where we can no longer take it. And what happens when we can no longer take it? It comes out again as word vomit. So I'm just coming to realize that there has to be, like everything in life, there has to be a balance. And it's the same thing with managing anger. Like there has to be a balance. There has to be a way in which you can express how you're feeling, and express it in a way that is productive, and in a way that you can speak the truth, but speak the truth with love. And I was thinking about that as I read this amazing verse, and really where that comes from, right? Like when we're angry and when we're upset, it's really just a cry out for help. Like us being in our anger is just like, hey, I just need some, like I'm going through so much mental chaos and so much hurt, and like my heart is aching and my everything is just hurt, and I just need you to hear me. I just need you to see me. And that's why we scream and we shout, because we're calling out for help, right? Like we're screaming, we're shouting, we're sticking people where it hurts, because we just want them to feel what we're feeling, right? And the thing about that, the thing that I'm realizing is that no one is ever going to, people can have empathy, but we can't demand empathy from other people, right? Like empathy is almost given to us almost in a sense of grace. Like we can't demand someone feel how we feel. We can't demand someone understand what we are going through. We can't demand someone apologize to us. We can't demand these things. It's almost, if we're given it, right? But regardless of if we're given an apology, if we're understood, if they feel our pain or not, we have to find our peace. And there is no one that can find your peace for you. Finding your peace is a personal journey. It's a personal thing that you have to embark on. No one is going to give you that. And so people can do you dirty, they can be mean, they can do whatever. It does not matter. Regardless of it, you have to find your peace. And you will never find peace in anger, because anger is simply just a cry out for help. And so I was just realizing that, finding our peace. Okay, what does it mean to find our peace, right? Finding our peace really means like just coming to an understanding of faith. I feel like everything in life right now is just like circling around to faith, because faith is knowing that everything is going to be okay. Faith is knowing that everything is working itself out. And so when we have that knowing and we have that understanding within ourselves, that in itself can calm us. That in itself can bring us to a state of like calm and level-headedness, right? Knowing that I'm in this phase right now where I'm so upset and they just pissed me off. But I know that right now, God is working it out. And I know that tomorrow and the days to come are not going to be like today. I know that I'm progressively working towards a better place, or I'm progressively working towards the better me, right? So it's just having faith that like things will pass. And not only will things pass, but things will pass and things will get better, things will get good. Like everything always works itself out for the good. We just have to be open to that. So yeah, that's just what's been heavy on my mind. And if anyone else is like navigating through that, I don't know, maybe you guys can relate, I don't know. And I was also just thinking about like the ego, you know what I mean? Like anger is kind of like an ego war. Like anger, like when we're angry, right? Our ego is totally inflamed at that point. And okay, for anyone that doesn't know like what your ego is, this is how I think of the ego. The ego is basically the story you tell yourself, right? So your ego could tell you, I am the most beautiful woman in the world. Ain't nobody do it like I do it. I look the best, you know what I'm saying? Nobody could compare, whatever. That's what our ego tells us. But then reality sinks in and it's like, you're a beautiful girl, but there are millions of other beautiful women. And actually, you're not more beautiful or less beautiful, you're just equally as beautiful. So that's reality, right? And in anger, right, we get angry because people like test our ego. We get angry because people test our ego and pop the bubble of what we think we are. And when that bubble is popped, our ego goes in overdrive. You're not going to tell me about myself. I'm this and I'm that and I'm this. And the thing when we get in these states of mind is that there is no peace. There is absolutely no peace, right? So I don't know. These are just my thoughts and ideas. The moral of the story is that we have got to find our peace. Regardless of anything, we have to find our peace, and no one is going to find our peace for us. I know it sucks. I know it sucks, but no one is going to do it for us. We have to find our peace. And I think that we can find our peace in understanding and having faith in God's plan for us, understanding that God is a loving God, and that even in our states of anger, and even when we're raging, and even when we are not speaking out of love, God is working. And if we are open to submit to Him and to His plan, if we are open to that, we will move past things, and we will move past it, and we'll get to the good, right? We're going to get to the good part. We are going to get there. And just knowing that and having that and letting that settle you within the storm is really how we find peace. Letting God's goodness settle us within the storm is how we find peace. Anyways, I am done rambling. I hope you guys liked this video. It was super random, but like, comment, subscribe, check out my TikTok because I have more content like this where I just speak words of encouragement. And yeah, and if you're from TikTok or any of my other social media pages, I just want to say that I love you and that I'm so happy you're here because you guys are so kind and amazing, and I love the little hub we are creating. I genuinely do. Like, you guys are so sweet. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.